Welcome gamers, my name is Jay, and I am here today to teach you how to play and get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventures All-Star Battle. This guide is made to help newcomers and ones who want to learn the game better and actually want to understand the mechanics on how each character works. Let's get started with the mechanics of the game. Welcome to the basic screen of ASB here. I shall go over the basic mechanics of movement, style, punt stun, defense, taunts, recovery, and clashing. Other things like moves and supers we will cover with each individual character and touch base on the abilities as we come to them. Right now, let's cover the mechanics. Movement, just like any other fighting game, is important here in ASB. Knowing how to get in or avoid is essential to the game. The characters are all set to a walk, run, dash, backdash, wave dash, and sidestep is used in this game. Let's briefly talk about each one of them. Walking is to help slowly approach your opponent to think and plan out what you do. Kind of how people use it in Street Fighter when they're starting to play the footsie game, but here it's less of a footsie game but more of a patience game for someone to make the first move so they can react or to sidestep the move. We'll cover that in a little while. Running will quickly cover distance with the opponent, but before you actually boost off and run, you start doing a dash right when you double tap forward. Before you start running, if you don't want to run, you can instead dash forward and backwards by double tapping back. If running seems too slow, wave dashing works well for some characters. I will cover for each one. Rapid tapping forward sends your character dashing rapidly towards your opponent, covering ground quicker. And if you want to get in and punish and move, wave dashing is the quickest way to do so. Sidestepping is one button and is a way to avoid moves, also to help you get an advantage on the opponent and help get in when a projectile is being thrown your way from a moderate distance. Also, holding it down makes you go towards the camera, while pressing it neutral will make you move away from the camera. Also, holding forward or back while sidestepping actually wave steps when you do this, stepping you faster and moving you a little closer to the opponent, and has better recovery than a regular sidestep. Now that we've covered movement, let's talk about style. The style button activates abilities unique to each character. For instance, Jonathan can gain meter from doing his Hamon breathing, which is his style of doing things. Dio Brando's is Vampirism, so he needs an actual command or pressing the button at the end of a record combo. The different types of styles are Hamon, Vampirism, Mode, Stand, Mounted, and Armor. We will cover each one of these as they come to each character. Punt stun is the way to either make you safe from doing an unsafe move or to extend combos. You do this by hitting your flash cancel button or all three attack buttons at the same time. Doing so will cost a full bar of meter, but it will either save you from a heavy punish or deal heavy amount of damage to continue a combo from it. Taunts, usually known for disrespect, actually have a meaning in this game. When you do a hard knockdown of any sort, you can taunt your opponent, and right when you do, your character will say a phrase like so. When it's done, your opponent will stand up after the taunt, but will lose a little bit of meter. This is a good way to keep the meter gain down a bit or to mess up any combo chances they need if the meter is low enough. This should be used sparingly due to if you have the match in your momentum, don't worry about meter, worry about taking your opponent out. This can also be used for taunt combos, but we'll cover that for later. Some moves aren't hard knockdowns. You can actually get back up on your feet faster by hitting the sidestep button before you land on the ground. And your character will recover on their feet, returning to a neutral state. This works on some attacks. Throws, hard knockdowns, great hard attacks, and some heat hard attacks that will not work on. When two characters throw out rapid punching moves, others have different ways, it will start a clash sequence. Once this happens, both players will try to outpunch the other, or in cases outshoot, This causes a mashing between both players hitting the square button as fast as possible to win. Whoever wins will stop the clash and punch the opponent to the other side. When punched, it is not a hard knockdown, so you can recover from the clash. Underneath your health, there is a block gauge that goes down for each block you do. Block too many hits and it leaves you open for a deadly punish from your opponent. Also, the block gauge is used for a technique called stylish sidestep. This sidestep happens when your opponent attacks and just before you're hit, you block the move, but instead of a guard, you move to the side while doing a post, giving you an opening to do damage on your opponent or throw them. Doing so takes 25% of your guard meter, so use spiraling and keep the attack up so you can get the meter back. Now that we discussed the base mechanics of the game, let's now quickly mention the stage interactions and what they do. This will be quick because most stage interactions will be cut off unless in casual play. Stage hazards happens when a player gets knocked down hard on a glowing red area. When they lay there, it activates a hazard which will either harm or help each player. Each one varies with each stage, from a chandelier falling to a guy running and smacking people with a brick. These hazards happen only when activated. Some may happen multiple times, others may only happen once. It depends on the stage and what happened. Now with the mechanics out the way, let's start learning on some characters, starting with Phantom Blood characters.